Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching my channel Shopworx. Today we're going to be working on a trailer behind me here. I need to do something better for the battery on it. Alright, so what my plan of attack is I'm going to be getting a flexible solar panel and putting it down on the lid here. I've already marked out my two front corners and where I'm going to end up drilling. I picked this 30-watt solar panel up from Amazon. Our options up here in Canada pretty limited for a lot of the stuff. It's flexible, so I'm not too worried about rocks coming off the truck and taking it out. And should be fairly easy to mount. I'm gonna glue it on using die-core. Use a lot of that on the RVs, and it's pretty good stuff. So it's a self-leveling lapping compound, lapping sealant on it. So I'll be doing all the edges and all these grommets there, and then right around where the wire is going to go through. Like I say, specs on the solar panel here. And I'm probably going to put a little charge controller inside there to work with it. And once everything's all in and done up that way, I'll go back and goop some sealant on it and hold it down with some tape. But it's a self-leveling sealer, so anything we do ahead of time here I got to do, because I can't lift the lid up and it'll just run off. There's nothing below it here. It's aluminum and I don't want to walk for a bigger drill bit. Marks. Temporary attachment tape. See where I came through on the inside here. After all said and done, I'll probably end up siliconing that up, and same with the top hole, and then I'll put that sealant over top. So this is that solar controller I picked up. It was on Amazon as well, pretty cheap. Probably gonna end up just mounting that somewhere down where it's not going to be in the way. Keep the wires nice and short, and then come out the bottom over with the rest of my wires and back into the battery compartment there. Eighth-inch bit for eighth-inch rivets. doing rivets until I started using this tool. I mean, I hated doing rivets. You know, we've done some jobs where I think Boeing would have been proud. This isn't gonna fit. What do you know? Story of my life. Okay, I changed my plan of attack there. I didn't have a rivet gun that goes in, or manual riveter even for that matter, that go in tight enough up against the controller here. So change plans and go with some screws. That's all you got, I guess that's all you got. There, 14 gauge trailer brake wire. Can use that for all my power. And these I use for doing video camera power. So had them floating around. That you know, feed into the controller, and then out of there it's going to be just direct wire back into the battery. Put it somewhere you guys can see me work. If this works out well, I'll probably be doing this on majority of our trailers coming up. Nothing worse than dead batteries in the spring. You don't use them all winter. Some of the stuff we use regularly, some stuff we rarely get to use, it seems. You don't need, sits for a while, and then all of a sudden you need it and the battery's dead. What's going on there? I should have looked at this better before I put it on. Problem there. They weren't open. Open up the ones I need. Do. May as well wire that other one on here at the same time, I guess. The reason I use this brake wire is a real beefy coating on it, so it doesn't really matter too much. It won't wear in a braid too easily. I use this stuff for just about everything on 12 volt wiring when you need two wires. Either that, or if you need a whole bunch, then I usually make a harness up with individual primary wire and loom. I got the solar panel, the batteries, and that's usually your load if you're looping it back through, so it actually does its counting and everything on there, on how much is going out and how much is going in and all that stuff. I'm just using it as a battery charger because I know I've got a lot of load on here with that 12-volt fuel pump and all my other LED lights and goodies, so I'll be over the 10 amps on this little controller. I didn't want to buy a big one for the sake of just doing that, so. And it really doesn't matter to me how much is going in and going out as long as it's charging it off. Put this back on here and get that wire tie wrapped back to where I want it. This aluminum bin was used when I got it. I had a buddy that had it in a truck or two and didn't want it anymore, so I ended up with it. And it's been through a couple different applications on here, and I've had to stiffen it up. And of course, everything's always last minute when you're doing stuff for yourself. So I just kind of got scabbed together with what I had on hand here to make it work. You can see I got the NOCO charger there, trying to charge that battery back up. It's been dragging on that 25% for a while, and it's a little lawn and garden tractor battery in here. Usually I got a little charger down there. If I'm parked with power for a while, I can plug that in and use it, and that keeps it topped off. Little battery meter, I don't even know if this thing will light up here, it's so dead. Well, it says it's charging, so put that on, another Amazon special. You can see the fuel pump down below here, and the plumbing filter and etc. All my gauges and switches. See if I can't find a way to neaten this up after here. Batteries, my battery for running the lights, the fuel pump, the electric brakes, and all that. So pretty important it's charged up when you go to move it. If you want some electric breakaway capacity there, because I know the boys that pull you over on the road sure like it. So hopefully this panel will buff up what I need, and like I say, if it works good, I'll be trying it on a bunch of the other trailers there, especially the enclosed ones. I'll put them right on the roof. And the reason I was looking at doing this is I got a 80-watt panel on my holiday trailer, and it usually puts out about 4 amps continuous there in the sunlight. So usually when I'm out camping, as long as I'm not running any heavy loads, I can run pretty much, you know, furnace motor at night and fridge, whatever, you know, and it'll last for what I need for my battery capacity, and then by about 11 o'clock in the morning I've got her topped right back up again. So anyway, I'm gonna get some ring terminals and some wrenches, and we'll tear into this thing. While I got it apart, I'm gonna put some grease on the trailer cord end here. I've got a problem, I think, with it. For some reason, when it rains, my tail marker lights light up, and the only thing I can see is I'm getting water down inside, and with all the salt and crap we have around up here, only when it rains and it's wet, it'll light up. So we'll check that out. Put the battery charger off for now. Ground off first. He's ready to go, and I'll pull that cord end apart, and then we'll put it all back together here. If I've got the right screwdriver. Looks like it looks a little salty in there. Well, it's probably safe to say we can find out why it's shorting out or bleeding off when it gets wet. There's enough salt in here to cause lots of grief. Salt corrosion. You have to pull it right apart and clean it up. So, thing to do, I guess, was to put a new one on. I didn't want the aggravation of trying to clean the old one up and have potentially more problems. This time I'm greasing all these wires up. Get them all greased up, put them in here, and then when we're sliding it back in at the end there, I'll grease the back end of the connector so I don't get any salt and moisture hopefully back in. Trying to get all these little wires in these holes. Don't want any hair sticking out. I'm fixing up the trailer cord end on here.
Is that the thing that you're working with? Is that the thing what you're working with right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, what did you just put on it?
Grease.
That's grease?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Need help?
Not unless you want to be on camera.
I can be on camera. No.
Yeah? See, right there. Tighten all these screws down, make sure they're nice and tight. Now, I'm going to grease the crap out of this, so all the water and salt can't get back in here.
Odd. That's actually grease.
Yeah, non-conductive grease.
What is it made out of?
I don't know, grease.
That could be rude, but it looks like earwax.
Earwax?
Yeah.
You write Grote and ask them.
Huh?
You can write Grote and ask them why they have earwax in their grease can. And again, most people don't strip. Either strip way too much and lever, but you want that insulation inside here. You don't want to be biting it down on wires, so you can tell it's in with the black. grease off it, and that should be good to go for the time being. Regular scheduled programming here. And we need no. Okay, now I'll get going on this one. What? Not quite right now.
Well, when will you need help?
When I ask for it? How's that? Secure these down, they're going to be out of the way. On there. Right here. Keep that from rubbing on anything. This hole up here, the wire doesn't rub and chafe. For now I'm going to just leave this charged and we'll check on it later on. So what I'm going to do, I think, is put a few dabs of silicone underneath here. The reason I'm putting this down here is just so it don't vibrate around, flap around in the wind. Hole up for now. so that lap sealant doesn't run down. It's self-leveling. Sure shooting it'd run down there if I left it. This stuff being runnier last time I used it. Well, that's all glued down and sealed, so I'm going to let that cure up really good, and then maybe later on tonight or tomorrow there I'll pop it open, pull that charger off, and then see how this little thing's putting out. So hopefully that'll cure my my issues there. You know, a lot of the battery tenders you plug into the truck there, the solar ones you throw in the dash, they're only half an amp kind of thing. This should give me about an amp and a half, a little over amp and a half, and hopefully recover whatever I use when I'm filling equipment out of the tank here. So we'll check her back out again later on. I'll let you know. All up here, it's a day after I started installing it. I came out this morning and 3-4 hours ago and plugged the panel in and let it charge up. And we'll pop it and have a look and see what we're getting here. The battery must be pretty charged up already. .7 volts. 0.3 of an amp. The battery's 13.2. Load 0, so there's nothing attached to it, so that makes sense. So the battery meter shows it all being charged. Give you guys an idea of the amount of sunlight. There ain't much. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll try to keep it coming.